Doctor, how likely do you think we are going to look at, let's go absolute to the max, a second lockdown, full lockdown? What do you think, Doctor?
I think on the current course and path of the way the virus is being transmitted, I think it's almost inevitable.
And how long for?
That I can't predict, but and everyone would rather we didn't have to go that way at all.
Well,
but it's all about containing the virus.
How effective is it? I don't know whether you heard prior to the weekend there was this idea of a 2-week, what's called a circuit breaker. So, and probably during half term, you lock the country down. You're an expert in this field as regards medical care. How effective would a 2-week break be?
With regard to the transmission rates, obviously it would slow things down because the incubation period is about 14 days, or up to 14 days. However, how effective that would be in the long run, I don't know, whether you have to have a series of these circuit breaks. But it's really up to the public as well as the government to make the right choices right now. Because there is a fact. The fact is that we're going into a winter crisis point. Normal winters, we don't have enough hospital capacity for what we have to manage normally. And for every bed that is taken up by a COVID patient now or going into the winter will be one bed less for someone who needs their cancer treatment, for someone who needs to have their heart sorted out, someone who needs a gallbladder. So it's up to everybody to make sure that we keep that capacity free for people who need the operations and who need their normal medical care.
I was under the impression, and you'll know far better than I because you're on the front line with your colleagues, I was under the impression that the Nightingales were going to be a real dynamic here and would really help with the fight against COVID. Is that not true?
The Nightingales would help, but where are we going to get the staff? We were already going into the first wave under-resourced from the staffing point of view. So the Nightingales will undoubtedly end up having to be used as we go through the winter, but that puts pressure on the staffing. And as we don't have the capacity for the complete viral testing that we need now to either be able to control the virus transmission or get people into work, we've got the other problems. I mean, I represent hospital doctors around around the UK. And we need to have the viral testing of the capacity to be able to ensure people can stay at work, people can stay safe so that we can keep the economy going. But currently, we don't have enough staff. And we need everybody. We don't have a testing system that works, and we need everybody to do their bit.
And lastly, why do you think test and trace has not functioned as effectively as everybody would like it to?
I just don't think we've got the capacity. I think we don't have the capacity for the number of the tests that we've required to be able to keep a handle on the transmission rates. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we haven't had the turnaround times that we need to be able to contact people. And then unfortunately, for various pressures, people perhaps aren't necessarily self-isolating when they should be. And that is a problem. So this is why it's up to everybody, the government, the public, absolutely every individual person to do their bit to try and keep this country working.